began raining down, and people were knocked off their feet in chairs. A woman described fleeing her house after an intense vibration. A man holding a child said he was jarred awake in bed by the shaking. The magnitude 6.8 quake was the hardest to hit Morocco in 120 years, and it toppled buildings and walls in ancient cities made from stone and masonry not designed to withstand quakes. The problem is that where destructive earthquakes are rare, buildings are simply not constructed robustly enough to cope with strong ground shaking. So many collapse, resulting in high casualties, said Bill McGuire, Professor Emeritus of Geophysical and Climate Hazards at University College London. I would expect the final death toll to climb into the thousands once more is known. As with any Moroccans also posted videos showing damage to parts of the famous red walls that surround the Old City, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At least 820 people died, mostly in Marrakech and 5 provinces near the quake's epicenter, and another 672 people were injured, Morocco's Interior Ministry reported Saturday morning. Of the injured, the ministry wrote, 205 were seriously hurt. Most of the tiny village of Mole Ibrahim, carved into a mountainside south of Marrakech, was uninhabitable after walls crumbled, windows shattered, and more than a dozen homes were reduced to piles of concrete and bent metal poles. At least 5 residents were trapped. The Moroccan military deployed aircraft, helicopters, and drones, and emergency services mobilized aid efforts to the areas hit by damages. But roads leading to the mountain region around the epicenter were jammed with vehicles and blocked with collapsed rocks, slowing rescue efforts. Trucks loaded with blankets, camp cots, and lighting equipment were trying to region that hard-hit area, the official news agency AP reported. Later Saturday morning in Marrakech, ambulances and motorcycles whirred by the edge of the old city, where business as usual mostly resumed Saturday morning. Tourists and passers-by navigated roadblocks and snapped photos of sections of the clay ochre wall that had cracked, spilling fragments and dust onto the sidewalk and street. World leaders offered to send in aid or rescue crews as condolences poured in from countries around Europe, the Middle East, and a group of 20 summit in India. Turkey's president, whose country lost tens of thousands of people in a massive earthquake earlier this year, was among those proposing assistance. France and Germany, with large populations of people with Moroccan origins, also offered to help, and the leaders of both Ukraine and Russia expressed support for Moroccans, left more than 600 dead. Friday's quake was felt as far away as Portugal and Algeria, according to the Portuguese Institute for Sea and Atmosphere and Algeria's Civil Defense Agency, which oversees emergency response.